But if we look at census data, we can see that only 3% of jobs are in art, sport, and music. So it just has to be the case that even if only 1 in 10 people followed their passion, still the majority would fail to be successful. So this first step just doesn't work. I think the second step is also not reliable, in that even if you match your passion with your work and you're successful, you can still quite easily fail to have a fulfilling career. That's because you might not find the work meaningful. This was a bit like me deciding not to go into finance. I thought, well, I was interested in it, maybe I could be successful, but I wouldn't make a difference. So maybe it would still end up not being fulfilling. So I think the second step doesn't work either. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, sure, passion isn't the only thing that matters. If I follow my passion, it doesn't guarantee that I'll succeed. But maybe it at least makes me more likely to succeed and to have a fulfilling career. As career advice, this is the best we can do. But I think that is wrong as well. Picture to yourself now the most assertive person you know who's really passionate about selling and persuading, and they're really extroverted. Surely someone like that should go and become an advertising accounts manager like in Mad Men, or they should become a car salesman, or something like that, something which involves lots of selling and being extroverted and talking to people. Well, it turns out that would be a really bad decision. Analysis of the Terman study showed that really passionate salespeople, really persuasive, assertive types who went into those kinds of sales jobs actually ended up more likely to burn out and in fact died younger than normal people who took those jobs. Following their passion actually made them more likely to die. And more generally, researchers have tried to show for decades that there's a strong relationship between interest match and how successful and happy people end up in their work. But so far they've failed to show a strong connection between the two. I think this isn't because your interests don't matter, but it's just that when it comes to real career decisions, your interests are just not a decisive factor. Other things matter much more, like what your skills are and what your mindset is. Indeed, we think our interests matter a lot more than they do, because we really underestimate how much they change. Just think about your own interests 5 or 10 years ago and how different they are from today. I mean, back then you were probably about this tall, and you were probably interested in completely different things. 5 or 10 years' time, you will be interested in totally different things again. All this means that your present interests are just not a solid basis on which to choose a career. Okay, so if we're not going to focus on interests, what should we focus on? If you're not just going to follow your passion, what should you do instead? If I had to sum up careers advice as a single slogan, here's what I would choose. Do what's valuable. By this I mean, focus on getting good at something that genuinely helps others and makes the world a better place. That's the secret to a fulfilling career. Now, obviously doing what's valuable is going to be better for the world. You're going to do